Hello, welcome to the Chirp YouTube channel. My name is Christy. I am your friendly online speech language pathologist and specialist in children's communication development, including behavior, because behavior is another type of communication. We are currently in the middle of a series on play and how children's development is affected by play and how play is affected by children's development. Today, I'm going to focus on 3 typical play patterns when it comes to children's development. The first one is called manipulative play. And this usually has to do with manipulating objects. This has to do with exploring the world in a sensory way. It might be sand, it might be a pencil, it might be my own toes. This is manipulative play. I have a whole series about sensory skills and sensory input, and you can watch it up there. Please do that if you haven't already. I find that topic to be one of the most helpful when it comes to understanding children, especially children who are on the autism spectrum or who have other developmental differences. Manipulative play is much more common and lasts typically much longer in children who do have autism. It is the type of play that is the most rewarding for them, especially early in their development, and they need more help developing into the other types of play. And we will discuss at length how to do that in upcoming videos. The next pattern of play is called functional play. Functional play is when children appropriately use an object. This might be taking a pencil and pretending to write a note. It might be putting a block on another block and starting to build a tower. It may be putting a peg in a hole. It may be driving a car. All of these things are functional play. Once again, this kind of play is less likely to spontaneously emerge in children who have an autism spectrum disorder. It requires some support and some assistance for children with autism to advance to this level. But it's definitely possible. I see it happening all the time. The next pattern of play is symbolic or representational play. This is where we might pretend a pencil is a mustache. We might pretend that, the child might pretend that she is the teacher and mom is the student, or her doll is the student, where our little friend might pretend that he is the trash collector and he picks up the trashes and he dumps them, whether or not he actually picks up trashes, but he's pretending to do it. This is symbolic or representational play because what the child is doing represents what would happen in the real world. Symbolic play is the least likely pattern of play that is likely to emerge spontaneously in children with autism. It is the most complex and it requires the most cognitive, social, and language skills of all the types of play. And therefore, of course, someone who has some deficits in those areas is going to have more trouble with this type of play. Children with autism in the area of symbolic play usually have some difficulties, initially at least, in the areas of diversity of kinds of play scenarios, flexibility, and creativity, coming up with playing out ideas that don't actually exist in the real world. Because typically our people with autism are very concrete. But it is a valuable skill to be able to imagine and play out scenarios that don't exist yet. So this is an area where we definitely want to put some effort into helping our children with developmental differences, with neurodivergent ways of thinking, to explore some further ways of play. We can be a good example, we can be a coach, and we can be a play partner who helps our kids develop in these different areas. In our next video, I will be discussing more about play. Don't miss it. In fact, I recommend that you subscribe and cling the little bell so that you will know when my next video is posted. I look forward to seeing you then, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Bye.